timer. All right. And we're back.
Hi, David.
Hey, Nina. And we're your stable friends. And today...
What does it mean to you when I say the term forever horse?
So, everybody knows I'm new, 5 months.
Yeah, that's the whole fun part about this relationship and these discussions.
You guys might know.
We have someone who has 50 years of experience, and we have someone who has 5 months of experience. And that's why I think this is so great.
I was thinking of just filming Nina, and over time we were talking about it, and I love this concept that we come together with. So, to answer your question, your forever horse, I don't know what that means because I don't know what the predecessor to that term is, but from being around this horse world, it seems like there's horses that you get for certain purposes, not for forever. They serve a certain purpose. So I think that forever horse means something like Travie, where you took him from the racetrack, from a crazy owner experience, to now he's here for forever.
Forever.
He's not going anywhere else.
Forever. That is definitely a good description of what the forever horse is.
What did I miss?
Nothing. You didn't miss anything. I'm just going to add to it.
Okay, great.
Horses are still today seen as a commodity, and you see it in all the different disciplines. So the racetrack,
Of course.
Pam, Joe, Mercy, they're done racing and off they go to another life, and often they go to the slaughterhouse. And
Crazy.
yeah, these beautiful, highly bred, very expensive horses literally end up on someone's dinner plate. It's just awful. It's awful. Especially if you're a vegetarian or vegan, then it's really bad. But it's just the whole idea of it, that something so magical, noble, special, beautiful, and perfect, one of, I think, Mother Nature's most amazing creations, is treated that it's a disposable item, that it's a cast-off item, and that we have to do so much equine recycling, that we have to be so careful to find them and then not let them fall into that cycle. But it's almost impossible not to, because there's so many horses and there's so much racing. But it also happens in the show barns. Trainers get their students excited about horse shows because there's not a lot of money. There's no money in boarding. There's not a lot of money in training. Where the money starts to come in is buying and selling horses, showing horses, and competing. Yeah, see? I love it because there's so many things that you don't know. Do you have something to add to this? Yeah?
He's grateful.
Yeah, maybe that's what it's all about. I'm grateful for him. All of these industries make it acceptable for horses to be disposable. It's okay. It's acceptable. It's acceptable for horses to be disposable. Which is it acceptable for children to be disposable? No, it's not even really acceptable for even dogs and cats to be disposable these days. It's very frowned upon when people get an animal and then all of a sudden they're dropping it off at the shelter or trying to give it away. It's become something that almost, people shame you if you're going to try to rehome an animal. But with the horses, it's completely
it's part of the
acceptable.
System.
Completely acceptable. Let's take Bella, for instance, down there. She was, I'm trying to think of the most polite way to put this. She was leased out to have babies for other people.
Heard about that.
So she was like a surrogate mother. That was her job, to go out and have babies, because she's so beautiful and she's so well bred as an Arabian. And throws black babies, and people love, different color breeds and what have you. That's acceptable. It's acceptable to have a student ride one and lease it to that student, and when that student outgrows it, that student gets another one, and then another person in the barn takes it. Well, that's at least some recycling, so that's actually, I can accept that. But what I can't accept is when these horses finish doing a job for you and we're so good at the job, and then they end up at auction, and then they end up getting purchased by the killer buyer, and then they end up on somebody's plate.
Oh, there's killer buyers and then there's keeper buyers, or is it mostly just killer buyers?
Once they get to the auction, it's a very, very unsafe place for them.
They're not taking care of it.
Well, the auction is a dangerous and scary place as it is. But the people that buy the horses for meat come in, and the horses that don't get sold that day, they are willing to pay a fairly good price for the weight. It's done in like the weight of the horse.
Oh my gosh.
So for meat, oh yeah. And those horses get stacked into a trailer and shipped out of the country, and then they go to the processing plant. And it's so inhumane. It is, people actually defend it. People actually say, well, where are these horses supposed to go? At least they're being, at least the meat's being eaten. How about no? How about we don't overbreed? How about we slow down the racing industry and the waste that they create? How about we slow down the showing industry and the waste they create? How about we put more ethics and more humanity into equestrian sports? Do you know that I guess it's Paris where the Olympics are going to be upcoming. Yeah, I think it's somewhere in France. I believe it's in Paris. And they want to make this the first ethical equine Olympics. They're already putting into review all of these different things that they want the Olympic Committee to look at, like the tightness of nose bands and the use of certain bits in certain disciplines, and how many times you can use the whip in the warm-up and how many times you can use the whip in the actual arena, how people use the spurs. It's kind of amazing.
That's
and we're beginning to evolve, I believe, as humans, some of us. And we are starting to see that one of the most unjust places for animals is the equestrian sports. The way that we think about the horses at large, the way that we treat the horses at large, not so good. It's not so good.
So I think we can wrap up here, and in the next video I want to talk about what the life cycle is like once you take them out of that, like with Maverick or some of the other horses here. So.
Okay, I think that's a great idea. Great.
We'll be back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Welcome back to Your Stable Friend. I'm David.
Hello, David. I'm Nina. And we were talking on the last video about the forever horse. And it's a topic that we wanted to go a little bit further into. And I think your question was, how do we help people understand how we keep them?
Yeah, we talked about where they come from. So then what's the process like after?
So why can I make my horses a forever horse? I'm willing to retire them. I'm willing to spend the time, effort, money, the energy and everything that means, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually,
Financially.
All of it, to make sure that he never falls into the wrong hands. Now that might be that I have someone maybe come in like you who falls in love with one of the horses and says, I want to lease them. I want to feel more like I'm their person. I want to have a little bit more control about what happens to them and the things that we do. Yeah, and the things that we do for them. And I want to be more part of this horse's life. I'm still providing a forever home, but I'm depending on other people to come in and help and support. There's one way that we can keep a horse forever. Another way is if you have a riding school, maybe the horses that you have been using to show or for personal horses can become school horses. And then you still have some control then about what's going to happen in their lives.
And they're getting fulfillment. Do they feel like they have a purpose?
They're still part of the herd. They don't have to leave their home. They don't have to leave their herd. They don't have to leave the person who was their main person. They've been assigned another duty to make the whole thing work out. Many people, equestrians who say, hey, nobody lives for free. We all have to work. We all have to have a job. But why don't we look at it this way and say, yes, for the greater good of the family or the herd, which means me too and the other people that are in the herd with us. Yes, Bella has to go out and give some lessons, but I believe that she knows it's for the greater good. How she loves people and loves her job.
I can see that she takes it seriously.
She really does.
Crazy.
She loves it. I believe that she feels very respected as a teacher. And I always, say, hey, it's you, Bella. I will help the student, but you develop the lesson. You are such a good teacher. So a really big part about having forever horses is understanding and believing that it's true that we don't have to ride them.
Ah, okay.
Because many times the horse becomes unrideable, and that's why we send them down the road, also known as getting rid of them.
But you're saying that just because they're not rideable, there's still
so much value to them. Look at Travie. I decided, a few years ago that he would be much happier not being ridden. Although he was a lovely riding horse, I could feel the trauma. He's so much happier, so much more confident, so much more at peace, able to put on weight. Allegedly, he may have had some ulcers. I don't think he has ulcers anymore. The riding was stressing him out. And of course, coming from the racetrack, of course it was a stressful situation for him to be ridden. But what did we do? We started working in hand and competing in hand, and he was champion, a reserve champion every year. I had more success out of the saddle now than I've had in the saddle.
Just for the people at home, if they want to look it up, are you comfortable sharing the competition that you guys were in so they can look it up?
Yes, but it's no longer.
It's no longer.
It's out of business now. We were doing something called interdressage.com. It was an online show site, and
So
they offered a lot of in-hand classes. You could do classes at Liberty if you wanted to. It was great, and it was very helpful in supporting people who did not want to ride, still feel like they were a viable equestrian, still competing, still bringing in the rosettes, even bringing in money.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And feeling like you had a little goal every month to do. And I think that understanding how valuable they are just as a friend and a companion and a mirror and a teacher also would hopefully inspire someone to keep their horse forever.
Absolutely.
And would you sell a family member down the line? No. Would you sell your dog? I mean, maybe some people would. I don't know, but this is a family member. This is your, so many people say, oh, it's my heart horse. And I'll say, well, what happened to your heart horse? Oh, well, he couldn't jump over 3 feet, so I sold him.
So he's not your heart
I'm like,
horse.
that was your heart horse? And where is he now? I don't know. I lost touch after the third owner. I mean, you hear it all the time. I'm not exaggerating this at all. At all, David. Oh, I love this horse so much. Well, where is he now? I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. I don't even know if he's still alive anymore. That's not how you feel about someone that you were so in love with. You're so in love with someone, you want to keep them in your life. And if there's a problem in the relationship, meaning like, oh, you can't be ridden anymore, well, you find something else to do. There's so many things that we can do with them. They don't have to be ridden to be valuable. They don't have to be ridden to have worth. They don't have to be ridden even for you as an equestrian to feel your worth. I feel so much more worthwhile these last few years not riding. It's actually truly amazing to me. I would have never imagined.
In case the viewers don't know, you stopped riding how many years ago?
Well, I've had a sit. I've had a sit on a couple of them. No, just at Liberty, no bridle, no saddle, maybe a neck rope, and just sat and milled around a little bit. But truly stopped training sort of riding 6 years ago.
Wow.
In an effort to find out if I was, once and for all, it was really important for me to know, am I a horse lover or am I a lover of riding and the horse sports?
There's a difference there. That's another video.
And guess what it turned out? I'm a horse lover. I'm a horse lover.
If you
I'm
couldn't
really
tell,
happy about that.
just in case you didn't know. Just in, you haven't figured it out by now.
Yeah, I love horses, and I will do really what is best for them. Maybe I couldn't always say that, but when you know something, you can do better. When you don't know, you don't know to do better.
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah.
No. So you can see a lot of videos we'll be posting of Travie's, well, now he's over there, of Travie's agility work in the arena, because the stuff that Nina does with him is awesome. And I love it when he jumps onto the tire.
Yes, the
and
pedestal.
he'll just do it because
He
knows
loves it.
He loves it. He probably feels tall.
And he also knows that I
He
love
knows
it.
you love
Yes.
it. And then I've shared before in another video, but he'll walk into the hula hoop with one leg, and Nina has such a strong connection. She just this little point, and he just already knows what to do. So that is so valuable. You don't have to ride to do this really
I
deep
would have
connection.
never connected with him like that
Without
ridden.
Yeah.
Never. It would have. I know this because I've been doing this long enough, and the connection that I feel with him just in 6 years is so much deeper than the connection I was able to make with my riding horses until I stopped riding them. So while you're riding, I almost feel like it's really hard to have that connection because there's always this agenda. No, it's an agenda. As an equestrian, we always have this agenda, nipping at our heels.
You know what you want.
Year-end championship, national championship, points, so I can get this and do this, and jumping higher and doing a higher level of dressage test and getting to the next level, being faster on the jump course. We're always carrying our agenda around with us, and they feel it. They feel that the lack of genuineness.
Yeah. You want something from me.
Yeah.
But now you're literally so close with him where I come up to pet him and he goes, wait, you're not my mom, you're not Nina.
But if I'm not here, he's more than happy
to take your
scratches.
But when she's not here, he goes, he'll point to where he wants me to scratch. So that just is testament to the bond that you guys have. I can see it when you guys interact.
It's something because of the non-riding, it does feel completely different.
And you used to ride him a lot?
I rode him for the first 7 months.
Okay, so you just have something.
And I'm just saying in general with the other horses, It's funny, even my school horses that I don't ride, so I'm sort of working with them in hand because I'm on the ground and they've got the student on the back. We also have a different kind of a relationship. It's like we're work partners. It's not a riding relationship. It's something completely different.
Yeah, I remember when you told me that. I thought that was really cool when you said they kind of treat you differently.
I think they do.
And I think it's 100%.
And I'm certainly not telling anyone, oh, you shouldn't ride anymore, you gotta stop riding. You come to different places in your equestrianism, well, you'll know the right thing to do. But for me, this is an area that I definitely was interested in exploring. And now that I'm in it, I don't want to go back.
And I didn't come here wanting to ride, but from watching lessons and falling in love with these horses, I do want to go on a trail ride. Yeah, something simple that they want.
Well, you're interested to see all of the parts. You want to really immerse yourself in all of the parts.
But also only if they want to do it. Like if it's a trail ride and they're in a herd and they want to do it, they don't mind me being on top of them, then yeah, but I just don't want them to feel uncomfortable. So if it's...
Well, basically what you're saying is you are actually wanting to have consent. And I think our society is moving into a direction where no one should ever feel like that they can just do stuff without consent. It's only polite to ask you for permission for something, especially something intimate, right?
Yeah, like getting on their back.
Yeah, that's pretty intimate, especially for a prey animal.
That's a lot of trust.
Jumping on their back is a lot of trust. Absolutely.
I didn't think about it like that. We've desensitized them to that, but it's
100%.
It's like a big...
Yeah. Especially for the geldings and the stallions. No one jumps on their backs. The stallions jump on the mare's backs for breeding. So a mare's kind of like, oh yeah, I guess that's okay. It's sort of in my DNA, something jumps on my back. But nobody jumps on their back unless they're being eaten or they're in a fight. So, yeah. It's all very interesting stuff. It all goes so far beyond the layer. It goes beyond the layer of what's obvious. We have to sometimes go deeper into it to see, what the true story is.
There's so much to learn.
There is so much to learn, and it is so fun to teach it, and it's so fun to see other people learn it.
It's nice to see somebody.
Yeah, it is. It's great. So, okay, thank you.
Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks for that.